you have a bucket of organically grown, fresh cut flowers like this, and you want to make a flower arrangement in a vase like this, but you don't want to use that icky green blocky stuff because it's a single-use plastic made of horrible chemicals that you wouldn't want your children around, you might choose an alternate mechanic like this. It's a reusable hairpin holder made in Wyers Cave, Virginia by a family-run business. You can combine this with your vase like this. When you add water to your vase like this, you're now ready to design with your bucket of flowers. And you can make something pretty amazing like my sunflower is my biggest faced flower, so I want to set it really low. Like this. And I cut a little baby, not really ready for cutting, but I like to show different stages of blooms in all of my arrangements. So we have that. And I am going to kind of pair them together to some degree. I haven't puttied my arrangement or my pin frog into the bowl. So I'm sticking my hands in until I get placement all the way around that has it sort of easily balanced or balanced in place. I'm just helping it with my fingers, holding it down like so. Now I'm going to want some dimension in front of that flower, and I'm going to go with a peachy cactus zinnia. I'm just going to keep cutting to the floor. So I'm going to go with my pin frog. I can get a pretty good horizontal insert. It might be more dimension than I want, so I can pull it out. Because I'm not using floral foam, cut it a little bit shorter. And boom. So I have dimension. And I really only have a few different kinds of flowers. I have these two sunflowers. I have lots of zinnias, a little bit of delphinium. And all I've done so far is take my solidago and just sort of use it as like a backdrop for all of these other flowers, and to kind of hide the mechanics a little bit, but I don't really want to hide the mechanics because I think they're pretty cool, and I don't want to overstuff my arrangement. This is some foraged dill, and I'm just gonna I love that it gives another little bit of layer of texture. Again, not quite short enough, so I'm gonna cut her a little bit, and I'm really going in as horizontally as I possibly can, and I'm just weaving through each one of the hairpins, and I'm just gonna cut her shorter. Oh. So now that will be the front, and I'm gonna kind of maybe mimic the sunflowers with this zinnia, just that yellow color back here. It's quite a bit smaller than the sunflower, so I might give it another larger faced cactus zinnia. You see, I'm just kind of mimicking that line from front to back. And I have another one of these peachy yellowy ones. So I'm going to take her and set her a little bit. The beauty of the hairpin holder is I am literally inserting this stem kind of at the second half, much closer to the front of this design than where her face will land, kind of at the back. So you can see that. I'm going to add a little bit more of the solidago. We've got this kind of wonky archy piece. I'm going to peel off a lot of the foliage. And I'm just going to see for a sec. Give it a good little cut. It's really kind of, it's a big piece. It's a big piece. So I'm going to edit it down to a bit of a smaller piece here and try to use its curve to my benefit and to sort of balance out my hairpin holder. And then I'm just going to strip this back a little bit, a little too much. And I'm just going to fill in a little bit more here. So now I've really kind of created a lot of textural backdrop for my flowers to sit in front of. And I'm going to take a little bit more of this dill. And you'll notice I'm editing out little bits that may or may not last just because they're cut now, but also just to reduce some of the noise and make it a little bit more about that starburst, which kind of can't really see right there with all that solidago. Maybe it goes a little better right there. Okay, so I'm going to spin back to the front. That little bit of delphinium, which I love, and some straw flowers. So this is where I'm going to get most of my height for the design. The beauty of line flowers is that they're kind of a line. A lot of people will use this more as filler. I don't like to use it as filler. I think it's really a beautiful flower. It's interesting. Its color changes as it blooms along and opens up. So I like to kind of feature it rather than use it to fill holes. Let's see, I might kind of want some jumping out at me like this too. All right, so you can see we've got 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 3 points, create a triangle, which is a design perspective that lots of people will teach. I teach you to lean into your own intuition and recognize that if you have a design sense, this triangle will probably come along in your design naturally. Through many different ways, whether it's just the way the flowers were moving and lots of different reasons that you might just be inclined to create it naturally, which just always ends up feeling a little fresher to me than when you try to force something. So now I'm going to work with another one of these cactus zinnias and just sort of balance out on this side, try to balance on this side the bigness of that sunflower. The dogs are here with us. They're very interested in what's going on because they don't see me talking to anybody. They can't see you guys. So. And now I'm just going to kind of start to sort of fill in. I have mostly all zinnias left. Not even thinking about color. I feel like I really want this to be a really colorful example of what's happening in the garden. It's summer. Summer is just color, color, color. And so I'm just not even thinking about color placement. I'm trusting that when I cut them, I cut enough variety and found enough bicolor things or complementary colors or they call it something. The things that bind them all together. Can already tell I'm gonna want like a really couple of beautiful pieces of foliage. I already know I'm missing that, so I'm gonna go get those. So hang on. Just hang on. So I've got some little baby seedling red buds from, believe it or not, just growing in the patio. And I'm just gonna start to add some of these guys. And I have some grapevine. Like just, I've already edited out a bunch of the foliage, a bunch of the leaves on that one. This one's a little big. Boom. So you can see what I'm doing with that. I'm going to focus on the back a little bit. I've balanced that there. I feel like I need to do the same with this. I think this is my last cactus zinnia. I'm going to do that here on the side. Maybe balance that off also a little bit with some grapevine foliage. Can't determine whether I need the glasses or I don't need the glasses while I'm designing. You don't, that doesn't matter to you. You just want to know what's going on in here. I think that looks nice. Love the little curve of that, so that's going to be a tall one. And I'm just going to give it a sort of pointed cut just to get it right into the hairpins a little bit. She might spin right now because there's not a lot of stems in there creating tension to keep her in place, and the hairpins are spaced kind of big, and she's not a super thick stem, so she might be floating around a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to keep building this one. I'm just going to spin it around so you can see. I'm kind of balanced widthwise on either side, front and back of the arrangement. Kind of balanced this way, although I think I want to bring it out a little bit more, and I'll do that with a couple of zinnias, because that's what I have. Lots of zinnias. Just kind of poking her in. So now you can think about these little guys as a grid like this, and I'm trying to get them into the hairpin like this to encourage it to sort of stay in place, because I didn't put any sort of putty on that hairpin to keep her in place. So got another gorgeous little orange guy. Love these orange zinnias. So all my zinnia seeds are Johnny's seeds, I believe. Everything that I'm working with today. So yeah, I mean, I just blew that out a little bit more there. So I'm going to follow suit over here. I don't want one side of the arrangement to end up ever feeling like a shelf. So I want it to feel pretty well balanced. And this is a nice sized vase. It's 7 inches. So it can handle a pretty large scale arrangement. It can handle, you know, something like this that will eventually hopefully make its way to a dinner table. Or you could go really super big with it, either way. But I feel like I'm balanced pretty well. This last one here will go horizontal again, right sort of in there. Okay, that feels really nicely balanced to me. It's that sunflower. That sunflower is so big that everything else is kind of like, that's how I'm feeling anyway. I'm like, So maybe, I wasn't really trying to go very asymmetrical with this, but just trying to go a bit more organic. That's Chaucer. I feel like I need to give this side a few more friends to make the sunflower feel less dominant. So, and the thought process is that if I have enough things happening, your eye will be drawn to all those things and then find its resting place back down at the sunflower. I'm going to use that little slight curve to my advantage as well and try to get it to look like it's curving over the sunflower, which wouldn't really happen in the field because the sunflower is the tallest thing in the field, but it does kind of work. It just kind of makes the sunflower feel less dominant. And I love it, it's beautiful, but I don't want it to be my whole existence. I really just wanted it to be there, sort of like, woohoo. That's a really fun piece. So this is a downward pointing bit of grapevine, and a lot of people might not really know how to work with that. They might try to force it to be something else. It is a bit malleable, the grapevine, and look at that. It worked it just sort of plopped into place. I'm not going to fight with it. I take the gifts when they come. All of them. I take them all. So now I'm just going to fill in the back a little bit. Need a few more in there. I think I need to put in some more Solidago, just for some texture. I have, oh, that might help too. There we go. So all of this right here is just me still trying to minimize the scale of the sunflower. Still need a bit of foliage back here, just to round it out a bit. And try. I've got some shorties. Bent one. Hate that. Hate when I bend one. I don't use any wire, so I'm going to cut it, but it's still going to live. She's not completely snapped. She's still intact, so I'm just going to cut her lower and let her rest at the lip of the vase. Let the lip, say that 10 times quickly. Let the lip of the vase be a flower helper. And so by doing that, I've also now done something that I normally do, which is intentionally have a flower or two or three, depending, that are really kind of just gently nestled onto the lip of the vase to really kind of connect what's happening here to the vase. Don't really love how hard that's feeling so high up, so I think it's competing with the delphinium. I'm just going to take it down a little bit, plop this guy right back. So now I feel like the sunflower is working with me, not working against me. I feel like this might be my tallest one, and just kind of finish off what's happening here. That dill, wild dill, really just wasn't doing it for me. And I don't know. Do I need your glasses? I don't know. Okay, I think that works. And might have to balance that, just the sheer scale of that particular bloom on this side now, with a really beautiful straw flower. So I'm going to group my straw flowers kind of together because I only have a couple of them, and I want them to feel really intentional. Look how pretty that one is. So let me really kind of concentrate on the front. I do love what that's doing balanced wise. The beauty of this hairpin holder is she's in there and I'm able to move it around a little bit to see, but without having to take her out, but I am going to take her out, and I am gonna reinsert it here. Just don't like the way it's facing. It might be that I don't like the white so high up and disconnected from the vase. Hey, 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 drop it. My dog is a paper towel thief. So, it just needs a little friend like that. Going this way. Yeah, and it's okay to talk to yourself. 100%. It's totally okay. I do it all the time. That wasn't feeling great to me, and now that I'm further along, I feel like I definitely need it more back here. So I'm going to take her out, reorient her there. Definitely want, oh, I have just one more little tiny bit of the delphinium, which is great, because I'm going to put her right there. See? So you've got that triangle, you've got this triangle, you've got a couple of different triangles happening, which just sort of happened naturally. I stopped thinking about whether or not I needed triangles a while ago. And that's it. So she's going to go like that. This one is going to come here. This little bit of dill is going to go right there and work some wonders. Like that. Now, I've run out of like actual flowers, sans these really pretty one stem of straw flowers. So I have to be very strategic now and use them wisely. So I don't have enough to sort of dot them around, so they have to be very sort of, in my mind, somebody else might be able to dot them around and make that work fantastically. No doubt there's plenty of people out there who could do that. But I'm going to kind of take these two off, use them. So I feel like, yes, I was gonna say, I feel like there was another bit to those, but I've lost them. And all right, so I think they work pretty well. What do you guys think? You can leave a note in the comments. I'm open to feedback. So this is pretty much done because I'm kind of like out of stuff. I am gonna run around and maybe see if I can cut. I kind of love that. Which is funny. Oh, I did cut another one, but somehow I lost the actual bunny part of it. Weird. Might kind of do that. I don't know, that might feel like wings. Maybe I'll go like this. Yeah, don't hate that. Don't hate that. Don't know that this bit of Solidago is really going to do much for me. I I'd have to break it into tiny bits, but let's see. Might. So, there you have it. A centerpiece with organic, locally grown by me and a couple from my friend Kinga. Flowers in a vase with a hairpin holder. We have foregone using any sort of floral foam because it is a single-use plastic. It's made out of toxic crap, and it's gonna live here longer than all of us. Like, it's just awful. It's awful, awful stuff, and it's just awful for the planet. Like, it's just so. Thank you. Thank you for hopping over from Instagram to YouTube to catch the whole thing. And if you don't follow me on Instagram and you just found me here, hop over to Instagram and find me there because there's some fun stuff over there too. But yeah, I'm just gonna pop in a few of these. The verbena. This is the bridge. That's the word I was looking for before. Bridge. This little verbena picks up on a few of the different colors in the zinnias. It is a little stiff and sticky though, so I'm going to keep it lower in the arrangement. And I'm going to put in a little bit more foliage, and that's it. That's her done. Thank you.